This is the Kickasspirational podcast. This is season 3. We're in the first podcast of January 2020. Of course, the Kickasspirational podcast is all about helping people break through barriers in their life, do more than they thought they could, and accomplish something. And I think in January, we all tend to be thinking about that. Excuse me one second. That is delicious. And so I thought we'd bring Knute Keeling back. Knute, the Viking warlord, our trainer for Fitness Friday and in life. Knute, welcome. Welcome back to the Kickasspirational podcast.
Thank you, David.
And you know what I thought would be interesting, because last time you were here, Knute, we talked about, and I got a lot of really positive feedback on it, simple ways that people could start to transform their life before the new year, before we get into the holidays and all the great things we eat and drink that maybe don't help our bodies get in shape.
Right.
And so I thought we could basically talk today and keep it simple. You know, how do we keep this simple for people? How do we help them with life hacks?
Yeah.
With ways to get in shape in the new year, maybe do like a 30-day challenge. And as we talked about, it's a combination of what you put in your mouth and how you move your body, right?
It is.
You're actually going to get in shape.
It is. And
do you think, we were talking about this on Fitness Friday yesterday.
Yep.
Do you think that, I think I know the answer, do you think that starting your day where you're putting the right nutrition in, particularly in an intermittent fasting type program, where you're moving, does that change your behavior, change your outlook, change your attitude for the day?
Yeah, that's, I was just reading something recent about movement.
I'm happy you're reading, by the way.
I thank you. More than just comic books, huh? I've evolved over the years.
Well, you're reading, I was excited you're reading comic books.
Well, I won't stop that. But, and it was talking about, it's not breaking news that exercise is good for you, right? We all know that.
Right.
But what they are now talking about is how movement and exercise helps with attitude, helps with your mood, helps with your mindset, and helps with your mind. It actually makes our neurotransmitters be a little more efficient. So with movement. And that's why I've always had the 3 movement components of, movement is medicine, right?
Yep.
Flushes out inflammation, creates circulation, anxiety, pumps all that. Movement is motivation.
Yep.
Okay. Doing movement will help us. It'll motivate us, make us, go for it, basically. And movement is mindset.
Right.
So it actually helps our brains, helps us goal set, gives us energy, changes our mood and attitude, basically.
Yeah, because it seems like, a lot of people start the year and we should be starting the year like drawing a line in the sand for getting the things that we failed at last year and then focusing on what we want to accomplish in 2020. But I think for a lot of people, there's this baggage they're carrying about how they didn't get everything done. They don't quite look as good as they want to. Their body isn't where they want it to be. Is there a way that movement can help people reset and restart?
Completely reset. I believe you should have movement every day. In fact, a good doctor friend of mine, Robert Kessler. Dr. Kessler, you know Dr. Kessler?
Yes, I love Dr. Kessler. Before you go in this, I just want to let people know we're sitting outside. It's January. We're in the sunshine. It's a beautiful day. I actually want to do some of these movements that you're going to get to, but people may hear some background noise. There's a plane flying over right now. It's literally a gorgeous day. I'll take a photo because it's so.
Dave, it's truly glorious today. I mean, it's got to be 70 degrees down here at the beach.
Yeah, it is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we're shooting a little video today, right?
Yep, we're shooting a little video. What's up, Gabe?
We've got Gabe and Emily here.
Yeah, right.
Doing some...
What's up, guys?
We
got our
shots.
videographers here. Wow.
Dude, this is like going mainstream now. This is like going big time. Again, just shooting a little pano of how glorious it is out here. So I just wanted to prep people on that a little bit. So,
yeah.
Dr. Kessler.
Dr. Kessler. So he told me one time, a great line. He said, daily movement, daily laughter, and long sleep is a perfect cure.
Oh, wow. For what?
Yeah. For anything.
Wow.
For for anything, a cure for anything, right?
Yeah.
That's coming from the doctor's book right there.
Well, that's good. I've got a lot of things.
You do. We can cure them, Dave.
Got some things that need curing.
I think, to go back to what you're talking about, starting the first thing in the morning is a great way to start your day. The last podcast I talked about some of the things that I do that literally take under a couple of minutes with some of the yoga flex moves.
Can you walk through those again? What were those first movements that you start your day with?
So, again, I'm just holding the moves for about 4 or 5 seconds. There are 3 moves that kind of intertwine with each other.
Yeah.
It's the downward dog. It's the child pose. By the way, I'm doing the downward dog with Dallas. It's kind of cool.
With
kind
the
of
dog.
special.
Downward dog with a dog.
Yeah, with a dog.
Double downward dog.
So, that's what we call double downward dog, right?
Dude. That doesn't like a double Dutch rudder.
Child pose, downward dog, and then I flow right into this cobra move. And so anyways, it's 3 yoga moves. I hold them for about 3 to 5 seconds per move. I only do them like 2 or 3 times through. It literally takes less than 60 seconds. Getting life into my body, just waking my system up.
How do you remember to do that? I mean, a lot of people, want to do these things. I want to do these things. But, sometimes I get out of bed and my routine isn't to do these things. So I feel like I need a mechanism or something to be like, hey, remember, it's 2020. You're doing this for yourself. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
That's what I do. I roll out of bed and I go right to it. I go right out of bed.
You don't mess around.
I don't play around, Dave. I roll out of bed. I pet the dog for a few minutes. I greet him, and then I go right to it.
Do you poop first or not?
No.
No, you do that later.
I do. I do that.
Do you poop in the morning?
Traditionally, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I pee in the morning.
You do pee in the morning.
Yeah, for like I've been frozen for 30 years.
Yeah, like Austin Powers. No, but because the reason I'm asking that, I know it's a little bit of a crass question, but the reason I'm asking is because it's almost like you need a mechanism to say, hey, before you take that first pee or poop in the morning, because that's going to happen. That's your biology screaming at you, going, "Hey, dude, we got some work to do."
Right.
Do you do these moves before you do that?
Well,
or do you do that?
You know what it is? And this is a challenge for everyone. Try it for 2 weeks. Don't hit snooze.
Whoa.
Just and now I Dave, as you know, I like to do.
As they say, you snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose.
2
right?
weeks. You
wow.
snooze, yeah.
Wow. Good
You're
call.
welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. So, but try it for 2 weeks. Don't hit the snooze button and see what happens. You'll be amazed on how much more production you have by having that extra 10 or 15 minutes.
Or if you do hit the snooze, definitely in between when you hit the snooze, don't stay in bed. Get up and do those movements before the snooze goes off.
That's a good call.
I mean, that's another way to think about it.
That's a good call.
We're not telling people how to live their life. We're just giving them ideas,
just some glorious ideas, I might add.
Some simple life hacks. Yeah.
So, but I believe in a balanced approach too, Dave, because Monday through Friday, I'm like a soldier.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I do my moves,
yeah.
I have my protein drink. Unless I'm intermittent fasting, I typically do intermittent fasting 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But I do this Monday through Friday. I go to my work, I train my clients, I work out, I eat right. But when the weekend comes, it's like a metamorphosis occurs.
Yeah.
I'm not doing my moves.
You're a party boy?
I'm letting the inner Viking out. Yes, David. And I'll have that slice of pizza. I'll have that beer, whatever the thing is. So I do believe in the balanced approach because I think it's if you feel like you have to do something every day, it might not be obtainable. So try to just do a balanced approach. Try to do Monday through Thursday maybe, or Monday through Friday. Don't hit the snooze.
Yep.
Get up, get moving.
Yep.
Have the protein, my thunder shake that I have in the morning.
Whoa.
Full with high levels of antioxidants.
What's in a thunder shake?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So I do a cup of almond milk. I do frozen organic blueberries, high antioxidants. Actually, blueberries are considered the highest antioxidant levels of all.
How much do you put in, like a handful?
I put in a full 1 cup.
1 cup.
I go for it, man.
That's a lot of blue.
Yeah, it is a lot of blue.
It's a lot of fiber.
It is a lot of fiber
and
not very many calories. This is a low-calorie drink and high in fiber, high in antioxidants. And then I throw in another full cup of frozen organic blueberries.
Okay.
I'm sorry, strawberries. We already did blueberries. Blueberries and strawberries. Okay?
Right.
Then I throw in the essential essential amino acids, right? The muscle multiplier.
Excess muscle multiplier, essential amino acids.
I throw a scoop of that in. I throw 1 tablespoon of MCT oil.
Okay.
And then I throw, if I'm not throwing in my tea, or sometimes I double it up. And then let's see, what else do I put in there?
What does that mean? You double it up?
Double it up is I'll put an MCT in my green tea.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I like to throw green
on
tea.
days when you're doing 2 to 3 days a week, you're doing intermittent fasting, so you're not eating between dinner and lunch, effectively.
Yes.
And in the morning when you wake up and you're hungry, you're making a green tea, like a Japanese green tea, like a sencha or a matcha, and then you're putting MCT oil, which you can buy. You can buy on it. You can buy it on Amazon if you can buy it, or at Whole Foods, wherever you shop.
That's right.
So you're putting. So you don't have to buy any of the excess products. I mean, we love excess, but you can do this just with tools you can find in any store, with
really
a green
simple.
tea, with an MCT oil. And or doing a protein shake. Of course, we have some great proteins with excess, but people could do it with their cup of blueberries, with their whatever protein they like.
Yep.
And then, are you looking at the labels on protein? What kind of proteins are you looking for?
I typically go with the organic proteins because they're a little easier on my system. I'm 53 now, so my system's changed a little bit. I don't digest food quite like I used to.
You look
like
great, by
wheys
the way,
and
for
soys.
53.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Yeah.
You're looking good for 63.
Well, thank you. I mean, I try and tell people I'm 73, and then,
And then they say you look damn good.
Yeah, well, I do what I can.
Yeah, so, but, I think the green tea acts as a thermogenic, it helps you burn body fat. The MCT, optimizes the growth of good bacteria, which supports the gut lining, and it's also fuel for the brain. Also the green tea has great antioxidants in it too.
Right.
So you got just a super drink. It doesn't kill your intermittent fasting either.
Right.
Now you can't put it. That's all you can put in there. You can't put like honey or cream or anything like that. You can't have any micronutrients in there because you don't want to kill your intermittent fasting if you're intermittent fasting.
No, that's exactly what I mean. In the morning, what I tend to do. I'm a bigger person. I like caffeine. I'm usually going to do something active.
You
asked
are
me,
a big man, Dave.
This morning, Gabe and I went surfing. So I got up at 6:45, made a green tea. While I was making a green tea, I drank a root beer excess, and then I made a green tea. I like Ito En makes a green matcha tea that I put some MCT oil in. But what's great is on the way to the surf, I'm drinking this hot green tea with MCT oil. Gives me great energy.
Yeah.
I feel full. I still feel full. I'm drinking another one right now. You can drink this all throughout the morning, right? You can drink green tea with MCT oil.
Or coffee.
Or coffee.
You just can't have any creamer or milk, but coffee, water, obviously. Another thing that MCT helps when you're intermittent fasting, because you're not going to be able to eat till noon or 1, right?
Yeah,
if you're doing the 16 or 18-hour intermittent fasting.
Sure.
Is that it coats your stomach. So it kind of suppresses your appetite.
When we used to do the Kevorkian 5000, which was this surf contest where we'd take over Adolfo's Mexican taqueria, and everybody would show up in crazy costumes, and then we would drink the kegs dry and then have a smash-up derby surf contest. Well, Sly Dog used to eat a stick of margarine before we went down there.
Oh, wow.
Because he had this theory that it would coat his stomach so he could drink more beer and he could surf better.
He was right.
He was right.
Wow.
I'm not advocating drinking that much beer anymore, but but the MCT oil, it coats your stomach. You don't feel hungry. You actually just have I feel so good in the morning. I feel so light and agile and fit. And it just helps me shed body fat.
It really does.
I don't really care about weight. People like lose weight. I'm like, I don't care if I lose weight. What I care about is, am I in great shape? Am I in the shape that I want to be in?
Yeah, and I say the scale is really a bad indicator of health. You want to go by your body composition or, how you look in the mirror, how your clothes fit. I think that's a better indication because a lot of times, like bigger guys like us, the body mass index is a horrible chart.
It's an average.
Yeah,
right?
It's an average.
BMI.
So, the guys are bigger boned or maybe have a little more muscle on them.
We're not average.
We're far from average.
Well, I bought one of
They're
those.
laughing over there. I don't know why.
I bought one of those electronic scales that connects with Bluetooth to my phone. And it's pretty cool.
Does it do your body comp?
But it does, right? So it measures my weight, and then it gives me a BMI, and it has all these different measurements. And the problem is, it's telling me that I'm like 25% or 23% body fat, which I know is absolutely not true.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I could pinch you right now and tell you.
Yeah.
I have calibers right here.
Yeah. But, I'm guessing I'm probably, more in the 12 to 15% range or something. What would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, but just by looking at you, I would say definitely you're anywhere from 11 to 14, I would say.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I buy you a drink?
Anytime.
But I think my point is that the scale doesn't really give me helpful. I mean, it helps me a little bit. It gives me some information, but the BMI just gives me terrible information.
Yeah.
That makes it hard to even make decisions around. And it's telling me that it wants me to be at like 165 or something.
Well, it's because that scale is basing off your weight.
Right.
And again, the scale is the worst indicator. Don't even go by the scale.
Right.
Because in reality, I mean, if you are working out, you're going to put on a little muscle. And we all know that muscle weighs a little more than fat, right?
Right.
So, what you want to do is redistribute, but don't worry about the scale,
That's one of the things we've said with Muscle Multiplier because, it's basically helping people shed body fat and build lean muscle mass.
Love that product, yeah.
And so we'll say, look, you may not see a change in the scale. Or in fact, you may even get a little heavier if you're really doing something right. The question is, do your clothes fit better? Do you look better? Are people commenting that your proportion is better? Those are the things that really matter to us, I think.
Just being healthy.
Yeah.
The groundwork to happiness is good health.
So that was what I wanted to try and get across this morning was that, we all come into January wishing we had done more, hoping we could do something better, trying to make these big changes.
Yeah.
And I think based on where we left off at the end of December and here where we're coming back into January, I think the simple truth is it doesn't take a big shift. No. But it takes some daily habits that you tie to mechanisms that will help you make little changes that will start to transform your life.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to sweat. Good things come to those who sweat.
Yeah.
So, but that's where I think, because most people, my pet peeve is when people say, I don't have enough time. And I'm like, really?
We all have 24 hours in a day, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's great is the evolution of high intensity interval training.
Everybody has 15 to 20 minutes that they could knock out a simple workout. So you're getting up, you're doing your flexibility, you're doing your child's pose, your downward dog. Tell me again, it's a child's pose, downward dog, and then cobra?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many rotations are you doing?
I'm usually doing 2. Sometimes I'll go 3 if my back's a little tight.
Yep.
Holding each move for about 3 to 5 seconds. Because each move is flowing from one to the other.
Yep.
And I could demonstrate it, in fact, we should do that. I know we've done it on Fitness Friday before.
We will demonstrate it this morning, and we'll
we'll
put that video together so it's part of this, so people can see it in the promo on Instagram and on Facebook.
And then I also, let me interject real quick.
Sure.
I also do, what I call the Viking shower, which is equivalent to jumping in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
But
shower.
A cold shower. But I also, I'm balanced with that too. I don't do that every day. I probably do that 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
And I do, just depending where my mindset is at the morning. If I need a little flush, I need a little energy, I need something that
need a shock to the system.
Makes me become more kick-aspirational.
Yeah.
I'll do my Viking shower.
Well, that's my favorite thing after our Fitness Friday workout is I just like to go get in the ocean. And, yesterday it was like 59 degrees, 58
or
degrees.
Or less, because I was in that day too, and it felt more like 57.
Yeah, it was. I'm not going to split hairs. It was cold.
It was cold, and that was cool because literally right after Fitness Friday, Dave shed down to his trunks and did the Viking shower in the mighty Pacific Ocean.
And my goal is I go out there and I like to catch 5 or 6 or 10 waves, just body surfing it.
Yep.
And man, you feel it. You feel so good when you come out of there.
Oh, the inflammation flushes away.
You're alive. Nature's ibuprofen.
Yeah, it really is. Nature's ibuprofen, and it's what a mindset it creates too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
you feel like a champion, don't you?
It's why I love to surf first thing in the morning. I mean, usually less wind. It's a better point in the day. It's just dawn patrols are pretty epic. Gabe and I have been doing them the last couple mornings. But you know that getting in the cold water it resets your head.
It really does.
And by the time you get out at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're just ready you feel like you've accomplished so much already.
So let me ask you this. So you did a full-on high-intensity interval workout for Fitness Friday.
Yeah.
And then you followed it up with a Viking shower in the Pacific Ocean. How did you feel afterwards?
Amazing. I was ready for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a big key. There's a lot of people who say, "Well, I've got these business goals I want to hit. I want to do more. I want to, I want to fill that pipeline. I want to get ahead of the game in 2020." But they're not changing how they're living. They're not changing how they're behaving. They're not taking the first action, which literally is what's going to change the rest of the behaviors for the day. And I think, to your point, getting started right, getting that your morning started right, so that you're creating a plan for the day. You've got the energy and the attitude to hit it for the day. You come in hot because you've just had this, you've done your stretching, you've done your high intensity workout, you've had the Viking shower, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. Victory.
One
what is
thing
best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. Yes.
Straight out of Conan, if you don't know that one.
All right. One thing I think might help also, and I read this a couple years ago. I forgot what university did the study. It was not an Ivy League school. It was something like an Ivy League. I think it was Columbia, actually.
Was it UT?
I think it was Oklahoma. Yeah. They're an Ivy League school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Ivy League in football. So Columbia actually is an Ivy League.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's under Ivy League. I think it was Columbia. I read this a couple years ago. This is when I started writing things down, and what they did is they had this class reunion, and this professor decided to do research on the benefits of writing goals down, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what he did is during the reunion, he got everyone's information, and he found out of the entire class that a little less than 20% actually wrote down their goals.
So like right now, people should get out a piece of paper and a pen
right now
and write down their goals, their physical goals, their spiritual goals, like, are you doing some meditation? Are you doing some kind of devotion? What is your reading? What is your brain? How are you changing your brain and your soul? And then also maybe financial goals. Like, what's your work habit going to be? How are you going to behave differently to fill that pipeline so you get the outcome that you're looking for?
Yeah, and you can even make it two separate pages. You could have your business on one side and maybe your body on the other side.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting about that study he did? The less than 20% that actually wrote down their goals, that group made more money than the 80%. The other 80%
that weren't planning. That were just letting life happen.
That weren't right. Yeah, they were just doing their free for all. Right.
Yeah.
The other ones that was structure, that 20%.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Well, and you think
Isn't
about
that
it,
amazing?
It's incredible. One of the things that I've worked with a lot of people over the years who've been trying to change their life and break through barriers and change behavior ultimately. And one of the things I like to say is, one, let's write down the goals. Two, keep those goals in front of you. I love taking just like a dry erase marker and writing on the bathroom mirror.
Oh, that's good.
What you're going to do today.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, seeing it again and putting check marks on what you've done, putting, little stars by the things that didn't maybe work, that didn't happen, so you can refocus on them the next day. And it's kind of like one of my favorite books, The Inner Game of Tennis. Tennis is a solo sport typically, so it's all about you against your opponent. Yeah. And your head games are
head games.
One of the best songs.
Foreigner.
What goes on? Good, nice call.
Thank you.
Head games. But the things that go on in your head, the self-talk.
Yeah.
Is where you defeat yourself.
Yeah.
Because you might, like you said, I miss on days. There's days where I woke up 2 days ago, we still had this Susie.
I haven't missed in a long time.
You have not missed?
Just kidding.
You're always missing. You're never on. No, but I'm going to get in your head. No, but the thing
not
is, like,
for that again.
I got up. It was. I think it was like a day or two after New Year's Eve. We had a pretty epic New Year's Eve party here.
Yeah, that was
Vanderhalla.
So glorious. Dave.
Yeah, it was.
Had such a good time.
It was quite festive to very festive.
Oh my God!
It's funny. The people who were working there, who were helping us with the party, bartender and the servers, they said to Sarah, they were like, how do you have so many cool friends?
Yeah.
and I don't know if they were saying that because they thought we weren't very cool, or because, or because they just really liked everybody at the party. But it was a lot of fun.
It certainly was.
But so I got up. It was let's say it was a day or two. I think it was 2 days later. The day after, I don't remember much. I actually, you know what I did the day after when I was a little hungover and trying to figure out where my brain was. I went surfing without a wetsuit at Creek.
Oh, wow.
And got in at South Gravels and caught waves all the way up to Point, which is, that's probably a quarter mile.
Wow.
And when I got out, I was feeling alive and very numb. But
I can't feel my legs.
I can't feel my legs.
I can't feel my legs.
Mama, help me. But so the funny thing is the next day when I was feeling more pulled together,
right.
I got up and Sarah had this Danish Kringle coffee cake, which is absolutely delicious. She baked it, heated it up, and
the Vikings like their Danish.
Oh, we are not afraid of a good Danish. So that's why it's called Danish.
Right.
That's why it's not called Czech. We're Czechoslovakian.
No,
yeah.
right.
So anyway, so I went surfing with Skylar. Come back, I see this thing sitting on the counter, like all warm. We mowed half of it, just he and I.
Well, you deserved it.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. And at that point, here's the thing. At that point, I didn't criticize myself. I said, you know what? Today's my cheat day.
That's right.
I've already
Good call.
established that. So you know what I did? I opened the fridge, ate two pieces of Susie cake that were left over from the party.
Wow.
Because I figured once you're going to go over your total calorie count anyways.
Yeah.
You might as well just blow it out and make it a good day, right?
Well, any dietitian or nutritionist will tell you if you're doing a keto diet, if whatever diet, you can have a cheat day. Or I have 2 cheat days. I have the weekend. I think it's a more balanced approach.
Yeah.
And I traditionally don't drink alcohol during the week either. I have.
What do you mean by don't drink alcohol?
Well, again, it's about a balance. Yeah. So unless I'm here in Vanderhalla, on New Year's Eve, might be overdoing it then, but it's okay. But so during the week, like I mentioned before, I do my morning routine. I have my power shakes. I'm doing my intermittent fasting 2 or 3 days out of that week. I'm exercising. I'm going to work. But when the weekend comes, that's where I reward myself. That's where I'll have the tequila shot or the beer or the slice of pizza or whatever. And like I was saying, any dietitian or nutritionist will tell you is you can have that cheat day or two if you're being good. Really it's not gonna affect your system at all. I want it all, and I want it now.
We are not musicians, but
that sounded pretty good, didn't it?
It does. Yeah, sort of.
In the shower, it sounds better.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna
the cold shower especially.
I'm not going for.
I see it a little higher in the cold shower.
You're not going to fool me with that again, can you? Not getting in the shower
Come on,
with
Dave,
you.
Join me.
Okay. But I think the thing for me that's been really helpful is just finding things I enjoy and getting out and doing them with friends.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Sissy and I are going to go for a hike a little later. Excuse me, I've been posting. That was the excess talking.
Yeah.
But
compliments of excess.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of fun things, getting outside.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where I've lived. I've loved going for hikes in the woods, or just doing something.
Even walking the dog after dinner.
Oh, dude.
How solid is that? Digest your food a little better.
One of my friends said to me, he said, "Yeah, I got a dog. I lost 17 pounds." And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't have to walk myself, but I have to walk my dog." And I think so. Whatever that habit is, whatever that mechanism is to force you to get out and do something, especially if you can start your day so that at the beginning of the day you're energized, your attitude's right, your behavior's right, and now you're ready. And I think the other thing, Knute, one of the reasons that Sarah and I come to you is because it makes us accountable. I know that 2 days a week I have to go work out in the gym.
Yeah.
And you've been
or
great.
I make you feel really bad.
Yeah. I gave up on shame, fear, and guilt. It doesn't work for me anymore.
Call.
Yeah.
Good call.
But we say in the Dutch Christian Reformed Church, we say there's nothing you do so badly that guilt can't make a little bit worse. So we just gave up on it. But
right.
Gave it up for Lent. But I think the idea is starting your day and getting in the daily habit of doing the right thing first, and then figuring out what other things you need to do and creating mechanisms in your life. Whether it's as simple as going to the bathroom, I can't have my cup of coffee until I do this. I won't be able to have lunch until I maybe I have to go meet somebody, get a name. Maybe I have to contact somebody for my business. Maybe I have to, whatever it is, whatever that list is you're trying to accomplish, tying it to the things you will do that you'll miss. I think those two things are really, really critical to changing behavior.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, if you want a better attitude, if you want your mind to work a little more properly, if you want a proper mindset and just really create good mood. I mean, people tell me all the time, they're like, how are you always so positive? Why are you in such a good mood all the time? And the answer is really simple.
Cocaine. It's not cocaine. That's
only
a joke.
on the weekends, Dave.
That's only on the weekends. Safety third, Knute.
That's right. Safety third.
No, it's not cocaine, children.
It's movement.
It's movement.
It's movement. It's diet. It's exercising. It's living the life of action.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about writing down things. I have. If everyone wants to grab a pen and paper, I can give you. I know this sounds like a lot, but it's 10 things. It's very easy things. So, but they all kind of they all kind of go together.
So let's give everybody a second to grab a pen and a piece of paper. So please go do that. We're going to give you 10 seconds here. I'm going to count the time. 10 seconds to go get a pen and a piece of paper. We're going to go through this morning routine again, and then we're going to go through the 10 movements that we need to do, right?
10 things.
10 things.
It's movements. It's the green tea.
This is the 10 hacks.
The 10 hacks.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. This is the 10 hacks.
So here we go. I'm going to count to 10.
We can go over the workouts if you want to go into that, or we can interject with that later, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so let's
you want to do the 10 hacks?
Yep.
Okay.
So here we go, guys. We're going to... Is everybody ready? We've given you about 10 seconds.
Final countdown. Who sings that one?
I don't know.
That's a tough one. That's Europe.
Europe? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah can nail these.
I know you know Aldo Nova.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's the greatest man who ever played a guitar.
Oh, my God, the opening. Right,
with Fantasy.
Life is just a fantasy. Can't you live that fantasy life?
Oh, man. Aldo Nova. How did he not become the greatest musician of all time? Or maybe he just was and
in
quit.
my mind, he kind of is.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes guys just make the best album that could ever be made, and then they're like, done.
Yeah.
Hang it up.
You know what? Yeah.
Put these skin-tight leopard leotard pants away. It's
no, never.
Game over.
Never.
Never. Okay. All right, so everyone's got their pen and their paper. Let's go through these hacks, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go record these movements. Make sure you include the movements that you want people to do in these 10, so you can sub out the movements that you recommend. And then we're going to record these on video, and you can watch them on Instagram and Facebook, so you can see how guys over 50 do them.
You want to demonstrate them as I talk you through it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do the moves right now.
Okay, so... everybody, this has been the Kick-Aspirational Podcast. We're going to have Knute go through these 10 things. You're going to listen to him. I'm going to step away and do the movements while he goes through them, so you won't hear my smoky, whiskey-laden voice. But
did you have a little whiskey?
I didn't, but it always sounds like I did. Yeah. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, right?
It is.
Yeah.
They say if you're not wasted, the day is.
Wow. Okay. Well,
that's weird coming from a fitness expert. But
well,
who said I was an expert?
It's got to be fun, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It's
like stretching. It's like stretching for the brain.
That's
All right. So let's start with these 10 things. What's the first one, Knute?
So we're doing this list. We're doing the yoga flex, right?
Let's go through the list, and as you come to the different item, then I'll do them. So
let's make that number one.
Okay,
Since that's the first thing I do in the morning.
So the first one is
the
yoga.
The yoga flex.
All right, here we go.
The yoga flex. Right into the child pose.
All right.
Okay. You're gonna hold that for 3, 2, 1. Now go right into the downward dog. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, transfer right into the into the cobra. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Right back into the child pose. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. 3, 2, 1. Right into the cobra. These flow so nicely with each other. 3, 2, 1. Let's go third and final. Child pose. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog.
These feel so good, by the way.
Oh, it's getting hamstrings, lower back, shoulders.
your shoulders movement.
and then go right into that cobra, and to finish it, Dave, 3, 2, 1, go right back into the downward dog.
Okay.
Okay, now walk it up with your hands, stretching out those hamstrings right there, and then just reach to the sky to elongate the spine. Yes, elongating our body because gravity likes to compress us. Look at that, and you're done.
So you just do that. All we're
That's
doing,
it.
That's what we're doing.
That's it.
That's what we're doing before we start our day. That's kind of the movement is life.
I do that. It creates life in the body. It creates circulation. What'd that take, guys?
Just a few minutes.
Like 30 seconds? Not even that.
Yeah.
And it just really
so quick
it's
and easy.
Such a good move. And then then I go and knock off like 20 push-ups.
Okay. So we do 20 push-ups.
Yep.
And people can do these different ways, right? Maybe not everybody's ready for 20.
Yeah, if you need to modify them, you can always go on your knees, and maybe you're only doing 5 or 10. But again, you're just creating movement. So right here, I'm doing 20 because in actuality, I can do like 50. But I'm just doing a small number to activate my system, okay? So again, you're not going to fatigue. You're just getting your body moving, okay?
And I love doing that child's pose right after push-ups.
Yeah,
it loosens up your shoulders. My shoulders are a little tight from surfing right now.
Really good.
It feels great to just knock those out. Then what?
Well, then if it's a day where I'm doing my Viking shower, I put it all the way on cold, and I just go. I'm not doing an actual shower, by the way. I'm just going in and out. I'm only in there for about 15, 20 seconds.
Just to get your core temp down a little bit.
Just to flush the inflammation out of my body. It creates energy, Dave, and also jumping in the cold shower first thing in the morning, it creates a little mental toughness.
It's
you know
so
what
good.
I mean?
Yeah.
And so it just sets your mind right.
I can do this.
Your mind right. And you know what? After that, I'm so kick aspirational. I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
I literally flex right in the mirror right there.
Dude, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nude.
Absolutely nude.
Yeah. Just
it's
be in
glorious.
love with yourself.
You know
love with your
what?
body.
Sometimes you gotta love yourself.
Yeah, self-love is a good thing.
It is.
One of the things that I do when I'm in hotels and I don't have time to go down to the gym and work out is I'll just do the push-ups. Mm-hmm. I'll do some V-ups, which I can demonstrate real quick. I do maybe like a set of 30 V-ups, 20 or 30
love
V-ups.
You know the travel workout that I created for you. What's that take? 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's what I do. I just do these V-ups.
Yep. And right here, the great thing about that, this is so much better than a traditional crunch. He's getting upper abs. He's getting lower abs. He's getting obliques. And he's actually getting lower back, too.
The whole time.
Yeah. And you're exhaling as you come up. When you have an exaggerated exhale, it actually helps you engage your stomach that much more. You feel the difference, Dave, when you really exhale? Now, if you have a little neck issue, you can always support your neck with your hands, right?
I do this usually I just do this on the hotel bed. I just do it with my legs hanging off and my butt right on the edge.
Yeah, perfect.
Because it keeps it's comfortable.
Oh yeah, and that actually works your back too. It makes your back stronger. Core is like a coin.
Yeah.
It's heads and tails, right?
Yeah.
So you got your front of your abs, that's the heads, and then you got your tail, which is all your lower back and your lower lumbar. Really, that move makes them both strong.
Well, and it's so when I'm sitting on planes all the time.
Yeah.
It just totally helps me preserve my back.
It does. That 90-degree angle actually can cause inflammation and can pinch your nerve back there.
Yeah, no, and I've had some of that. I've had some inflammation and some herniated discs, and they're fine now.
Me too.
But I've got to stay on top of it, and I've got to keep doing this. The other thing I love doing are burpees.
Yeah.
Especially I don't have a lot of time. I want to knock out, get my heart rate up a little bit, and I'll do like 10. So I'll do, let's say I'll do like 20 push-ups, 30 V-ups, and then 10 burpees. And your heart rate gets moving, and you break a little sweat. You feel like you did something.
Yeah, you're talking about So now you're doing a high intensity interval workout, and the great thing about these workouts are that you can do them anywhere. You can do them in the comforts of your own home. You can do it in the office. You can do it like Dave does when he's traveling. You can do it in your hotel room. You don't need equipment. You just have your own body to perform these workouts. He's doing burpees right now.
Just doing them on the deck?
Doing them right here on the deck. Yeah, look at this. And he's throwing a plyometric jump into it to even add the intensity even a little bit higher.
People say white men can't jump, and
looking at
mostly true.
Looking at that vertical, I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, solid 3 to 6 inch.
That was so good.
Yeah.
And look, the simple move, you're breathing.
I'm breathing hard.
Your muscles are pumped.
Well, let's go through your list that you've got here.
So number one, is the yoga flex that I do. I recommend doing that during the week. Again, on the weekends, take it off. Okay, relax. That way, when Monday comes along, you'll be excited to do it again.
I'm already ahead of the week. I just did it.
You're ahead, brother. You're ahead. You're always ahead. I love that. So the other one is the green tea and MCT oil combination. Okay, and very antioxidant rich, by the way, with green tea.
Yeah, I'm going to steal some of yours, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Coming into my third cup.
Another one that I say. So I hope everyone's writing this down.
Which, by the way, if people want to use excess products for these things, if they don't want, if they're not into green tea, our excess plus burn. Drink 2 of those in the morning. That'll change your life.
Good call. Yeah.
It has great thermogenic properties.
Oh, that's so good.
Just like a green tea.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of thing. You can do that with the excess energy plus burn as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So another one that I like is I throw in 1 tablespoon of, I do it in a shot glass, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of warm water, so it mixes up the honey a little bit, and I do 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar.
Ooh, a little detox?
Yeah, it really helps with the digestive system. Again, it assists in good bacteria.
Yeah, I love a little apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, it really is. It really, and I find that it kind of helps reduce the waistline because it helps with the bloating. So, and throwing it down with warm water and a tablespoon of honey, it goes down really smooth. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
And there's if you guys want to look, if you look at the benefits of apple cider vinegar, you guys will all be doing it every day. Just Google that, and you'll be blown away.
Google benefits of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, you'll be blown away.
And you can buy that off the shelf, and you're just taking a tablespoon.
It's like $5.
Yeah, and you
Get
don't
the
want to
Mother's, though. Get the Mother's apple cider vinegar.
You don't want to drink it straight, right? You typically want to
you
either put it in water
tablespoon, but I would chase it with water, though, because it is vinegar.
I often put it in like a half glass of water.
You do? Okay, that's a good call. Yeah.
It's nice,
and then it goes down pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
So the other one is you want to do you want it 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe try the Viking shower.
Right.
Okay. Now I understand if people don't want to do it. I totally get it. But maybe try it maybe 2 times a week and see how you feel afterwards. You'll be surprised.
I love it. I love getting cold in the morning. Yeah.
So the other one is 2 or possibly 3 times a week of a full body high intensity interval workout.
2 to 3 times a week. So this could be 10,000 steps. This could be you're actually talking about for most people getting into a gym or something.
This is a little different. This is the one I'm talking about. Either doing the body motion movements, okay, freestyle movements I like to call them. That's where you're using your own body weight, or the gym.
And you have these on your website, right? You show these workouts on your website.
I do. I did one this morning, actually.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example of what I did. I did.
I'm sorry. I mean on your Instagram page.
On my Instagram,
Knute, Knute Keeling, Keeling, Knute Keeling.
Right.
On Instagram.
Yeah. Most of them I just have like the movement of the week, that sort of thing. But on my stories, I typically will do a high intensity interval workout.
Yeah.
So I think later as I go, I'm going to start this year. In fact, I'm going to start putting that kind of information and those kind of workouts on my Instagram a little bit more consistently.
Yeah.
So
that'd be great. Maybe once a week, just put up the high intensity workout of the week.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, and even if you go to Excess Nation, you can go through the archives of Fitness Friday, and we do 90% of our workouts are the high intensity interval workouts.
So if people just went to the Excess Nation page and looked up Fitness Friday and just did the workout of the week, that would be the same. They could do that 2 or 3 times a week and get there.
And those are the freestyle body weight workouts. Yeah. Now on my Instagram, I'm going to show you ones that you can actually do in the gym. And the reason I do like to get people in the gym at least once or twice a week is, for several reasons. For guys, it raises your T levels and changes your growth hormone. Yeah, all these levels that tend to drop.
Yeah.
Their freestyle testosterone levels, your growth hormones.
And it's the it's the interval training that really drives your T levels, right?
It's that, yeah. And what you're doing is you're doing a really boosting high. Like in the gym, it would be a compound movement, for example. Right. Compound movements, for example, would be like deadlifts, squats, pull-ups, those kind of things.
We've been working on my legs a lot this year, which has been great for the pre-ski season. I mean, I was just skiing for a week straight. For
8 days?
Yeah.
And how many days did you ski?
So I was 2 days in Deer Valley and then 6 days in Whistler. And I skied, Whistler's one of the 2 of the biggest mountains in North America.
Yeah.
We skied all 6.
Wow.
All day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And see, that's very unusual. So most people, if they're vacationing,
and I felt good, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. You never declined.
I mean,
or
I
descended.
did get in the hot tub at night and
Yeah.
the sauna, but I felt great.
Yeah. Well, so it's very unusual for someone to go out for 6 days and actually ski all 6 days. So that attributes to just the great health that you're in right now. That's awesome.
Great training I've had. But we've been doing those squats where you're laying on your back.
Yeah, the leg press.
The leg press.
Mm-hmm. And we do that because I, to be honest with you, I don't like, unless you're 20 years old or so, I don't like squats where you're putting the bar on your shoulders. Because at
starts to
our
compress your
advanced
vertebrae,
ages,
yeah.
it does compress our vertebrae. Our vertebrae have taken enough punishment over the years.
I want to punish them on the ski slopes and in the waves, not in the gym.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we'll use dumbbells on the side, where you're holding dumbbells in your hands and doing squats. Maybe we'll do it on the Bosu, so we were doing some stability stuff, or maybe the leg press if we want to get a little heavy. And we've been going a little bit heavier for strength.
Yeah, there were two young
raising
guys.
your testosterone levels.
So after the New Year's Eve party, I went to the Bird. And there were two young guys.
That's weird.
Yeah, weird. There were two young guys at the Bird who were like, "Oh, I just saw you." I always get a 6-pack of Pacificos, so I don't have to keep going back up to the bar. And this young guy, he goes to me, "Hey, can I have a beer?" And I was like, "Sure." And I gave him one. He was like, "No way!" And I was like, "Way!" and then his buddy was like, "Oh, I know you. You know my dad." He called me Mr. Vanderveen, which always makes me a little annoyed. But he goes, "I saw you working out in the gym." And I said, "Yeah." He saw us doing the leg stacks.
Oh yeah.
He goes, "How many plates did you have on each side?" I was like, 4 on each side. I said, that's like if each of you guys were sitting on each side.
Right.
Actually, probably a little heavier because that's 180 pounds on each side, right?
Yeah.
360?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I never thought I could do that. You got me
And you
there.
were doing it for reps, man.
Yeah.
I remember when I stacked them on, you're like, really? I'm like, really?
And we did it.
we did it.
Yeah.
You weren't daddy's no good.
No, Daddy was pretty awesome that day.
We have to tell that story before that's over.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe after.
Okay, so let's finish this list and then we'll wrap it up with that story.
Okay.
Give everybody a little hope.
Yeah, right. Right, okay. So I truly believe in the 2 or 3 high intensity interval training, and that's another thing to Google if you want to learn a little bit more. And again, you could do high intensity
interval training.
You can do it on the bike. You can do it on the treadmill. One of my favorite ones is actually at the track, and where you go to a high school track and you sprint.
You talking about the dog track? Horse track?
No, the horse track. No, the actual high school track or college track.
Right.
And you run the straightaway, which is equivalent to about 100 yards.
Yeah.
You walk the round portion and sprint the other one. And you're sprinting like you're at an Olympic race.
Yeah.
You're really going for it.
How many of those do you, so you sprint, walk. How many of those do you do?
Well, for me, I'll do like 8 to 10, but just do whatever you can do. If you're
start with 3
intermediate
to
or
4,
advanced,
get to 5, then 6, and just keep adding them as you feel like you can.
Right, and it's a full body, high intensity move. I mean, you think about it, when you're sprinting, you're pumping your arms.
Oh yeah,
it's very dynamic, and you are burning body fat. This is the great thing. You're burning body fat not only during that workout, but it creates such an afterburn effect. You're burning body fat into the next day.
Wow.
You are changing your body composition.
Because it confuses your body versus just running on a treadmill for an hour or something.
Yeah, and you're able to go a little more intense, on the treadmill. Now, if you can't run, maybe you go on the treadmill and you do a high incline. Yeah. Like a 12 or 15% incline.
So you get that like you're walking uphill.
Right.
Or walk upstairs.
And you do that for a minute.
Yeah.
And then you do a minute or 2, whatever you might need, of low intensity. So, and that's where you're getting your breath back, because basically after the high intensity move, you're in recovery mode. So by recovering, you want to, maybe you're walking after the sprint, or maybe if you're on a high incline on the treadmill,
sure.
Now you bring that.
Well, I'm always watching my heart rate, right? Because if I understand it correctly, I'm trying to get my heart rate up above 160, 170, 180. Maybe not above 180, but into the, and then I want to bring my heart rate back down so that I can rev it up again, because starting friction is more intense, right? Once you're up and running, it just doesn't take as much effort, but it's getting it up that takes all the effort.
It does. Yeah.
So it's getting your heart rate up, letting it come back, getting your heart rate up, letting it come back.
Right.
Right. Is that am I getting that right?
That's correct. And instead of, where typically people are doing cardio for an hour, the high intensity interval workouts, you're done in 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Because again, you're short.
You can do.
Yeah. It's high intensity, and you're shortening the duration. Yeah. Right. Kind of like your sex life.
Yeah. Well.
Right.
Yeah.
High intensity, short duration.
It's for sure short duration.
Just kidding. But anyways, so
no, that's true.
So the next one is the next thing you want to write down is movement daily. Okay, so this isn't a gym workout. This isn't a high intensity workout. This is maybe walking the dog. This is maybe
getting those 10,000 steps in.
Getting the 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
Maybe doing your trail run along the mountains. Maybe doing a surf session. Maybe jumping on the bike. Maybe playing a tennis game. Whatever it is, find something you like to do.
By the way, I do all those things.
I know you do.
I like to do 3 in a day. That's my goal, is 3 sport days. But maybe that's more than most people can do.
Yeah.
Well, but just do something you love, right? And make sure you're doing something every day.
Once a day, get movement.
Yep.
Okay? Get movement. So
all right.
The next one is try intermittent fasting, maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. It resets your system.
And that's just basically going from... What in the world is going on with Siri is taking over my phone?
But it's intermittent fasting. It's going to help you. It's going to help you burn body fat. Okay, you're basically skipping one meal is what you're doing. So you're putting less calories in your body. You're going to lose weight.
You're going from dinner to lunch, effectively.
Yeah, and it recalibrates your system. It reactivates and regenerates new cell life. I mean, there's a ton of great things it does.
Yeah, you can look up the benefits of fasting, and there's tons of benefits. Or intermittent
just look
fasting.
up the top 10, and you'll be blown away. And you'll be like, "Oh my God, I got to try this a couple times a week."
I think once people see the change and they start to believe it, and they start to fall in love with intermittent fasting. I even like to go 24 hours, once a month.
Yeah,
just because
they say there's huge benefits. The research on that's just really overwhelming on the positive sides.
It's so good, and I think part of it is just falling in love with what we would consider pain typically, the hunger pain or whatever. But realizing, hey, this is making me better. This is what I actually want, not the quick fix. The sugary snack. What do you have after that?
So the next one would be portion sizes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a big believer on small portion sizes.
When you're eating.
Emily knows this. We go when we go out in the evening and grab a bite to eat. I'm like having an appetizer at that point because I just ate 2 or 3 hours ago and it was a small portion size. I say a good trick to this is you like for dinner and that sort of thing, grab a small plate.
Yep.
Because it's an illusion, right? It looks like if you fill that small plate, the plate is full.
Right.
If you fill up a big plate,
it's also full.
It's also full.
Yeah.
So small portion sizes are a really good call. You'll utilize the food in a more proper manner.
We also do this thing here where I try and make 2/3 of my plate vegetables. And so we'll make like a big salad. Yeah. We have a big salad, small amount of meat, right?
Yeah.
And I try and eat a piece of meat smaller than the palm of my hand.
Yeah, smart, yeah.
And if I'm still hungry, I just eat more salad or pick up more vegetables that aren't deep fried or, that are cooked well. And
the greener, the more vitamins,
So we do like spinach salads with quinoa
kale.
in it. Yeah, we have maybe some cut up butternut squash in it, some pomegranate seeds. But it's it tastes great. It's good for you. You eat a couple servings of the salad, a little bit of a palm-sized piece of protein. And particularly for me, I just feel so much better than if I stuff myself at dinner.
Well, you're not weighed down. You're still light on your feet. You can still do your dance moves.
Oh, yeah, I can still boogie. I can get down. Get down.
So the other one, I got 2 more really.
Okay.
Is drink lots of water.
Okay,
that's huge.
Does that say small Patron size? No, portion. That's okay, sorry. I'm reading upside down.
No.
Drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water. Yeah, I mean, your body's, your muscles are like 75% water.
Yeah.
So your system was it like 20 Patron, 80
mostly tequila. No, so drink lots of water. How much?
Hydrated.
What does lots of water mean? Like how often are you drinking water and how much?
Well, I always have like one of those 8-ounce water bottles with me, and I'm drinking those all day long. And I'm getting like 7 or 8 of those in a day probably. I mean, I'm always drinking water. You don't want to use
like a 16-ounce water
thirst
bottle,
as a indicator that you want to drink water. Because actually, if you use thirst as an indicator, your body's already dehydrated.
Right.
Your system's already
and
there.
your kidneys can only process about 4 ounces every 10, 20 minutes or something. So you want to be drinking 4 to 5 ounces every 10, 20 minutes. Just be sipping on it, having that Nalgene bottle of water with you.
Have it anywhere. You have it by your desk. Have it wherever you're at. If it's there, if you have it in your car, you have it in your desk, wherever you might be, you'll find yourself just constantly sipping it anyways.
And you can tell if when you actually go, pee.
Yeah.
If it's light yellow to clear, you're doing it right.
Right.
If it's dark yellow, And I don't care how many vitamins you're taking. If it's dark yellow or green, you might want to back off on the ganja. But you might want to start drinking a lot more water.
Yeah.
You want that.
It's huge. I mean, and then the last one is really try to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And that's really that's it. I mean, that's
a big deal. What are the secrets to getting sleep? The older I get, the harder it is to sleep through the night. What are some of the secrets or some of the hacks you have for getting good sleep?
I think my number one is I don't have a TV in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I do, but I deactivate it.
You're not looking at your phone before you go to sleep.
I don't look at my phone. If I do, I do a little reading, but I do not look at my phone. I don't look at the TV. That synthetic light, the brain can't decipher synthetic light and actual light. So you actually confuse your brain. You don't know the difference between the two, and you're sitting there looking at the TV before you go to bed. Your brain thinks it's daytime. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, let's boogie.
Right? Well, so if you there's two things your bedroom should be used for. The number one, sleep. Number two, guess.
Well, I'm going to guess with sleeping together.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sleeping
number two
and
is a
sleeping
lot of
together.
fun.
Yeah.
Right. So those are the two things, and I think it's tough to do. But listen, my daughters don't have TVs in their rooms for that.
We don't either.
And I don't have it. I do have a TV in my room, but I deactivated it like 2 years ago. It just sits there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I think that is huge. And then when I normally go to bed, just to get the monkeys from jumping around in my head, I tend to try to meditate a little bit, and that helps relax me. The deep breathing, and before I know it, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I do that when I have a lot going on. I mean, one of the things I love is a little magnesium tea before I go to bed. Calm makes a really good one.
Yeah.
Or there's other, we have excess magnesium sticks in some markets, but most people are deficient in magnesium, and when you have enough magnesium in your system, it's easier to go to sleep. That's one of the things I love. I also like, but I also love this deep breathing. 4 seconds in. Hold for 4 seconds.
And you're going through your nose.
4 seconds out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always inhale through your nose.
Yeah, well, not always, but most of the time.
Never inhale, Dave.
Yeah, always inhale. Never waste good air. But I think it's the idea of you're breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, breathing out for 4 seconds, and it's called box breathing. And you're focusing on your breathing. You're thinking about your breathing. You're breathing into your stomach, filling your lungs. You're holding it, and then you're breathing it out. If I do that, no matter what's going on, if I do that towards the end of the day, with my eyes closed, laying in bed, I will be asleep usually within less than 10 seconds. 4 to 5 cycles usually.
I do that too. I even try to focus on my heartbeat. I try to hear it.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of concentration and stillness to do that.
Right.
And breathing. So, but yeah.
And then there's people can try other things. They can try GABA. That's a great tool for sleep. There's melatonin, although I wouldn't use it every day, but occasionally if you have trouble sleeping, 3 to 5 milligrams is a nice dose. There's things like tryptophan. There's a lot of great tools, and everybody's a little different, so I think people need to try what works for them. But, try some of these things. Magnesium tea. A lot of these things really work, but get the sleep. Get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night.
Well, I tell you one thing that if you are exercising and eating properly and not having these large meals at night and creating movement every day in your life, that also assists in sleep.
Makes it easier to sleep.
Makes it so easier to sleep. I got to tell you, sometimes when my head hits the pillow, I'm out. Like 10, 15 seconds.
Do you
it's
ever
unreal.
use CBD?
I do. Yeah.
Does that help you with sleep?
It does. Yeah. Absolutely. I use it more for inflammation type of situations.
Okay.
But because I really don't have any problems sleeping.
Like a topical.
I get up so early, and
Excess has some great topical CBDs.
They absolutely. Yeah, I've tried them. They're excellent. But I get
don't eat them.
Oh, really? Oh, too late.
This tastes like lotion. I love lotion. That's why we didn't make it taste like paste.
Yeah, right. But I get up so early, and I start my day with motion and activity and just eating right and just expending so much positive energy and sharing that positive energy with people that by the time I hit the sack, it's good night, Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Turn
Sally?
out the lights. The party's over.
Does Emily know about Sally? So this has been a remarkable podcast. I think these are a lot of really great tips that people can pick and choose from to start their 2020. Would you recommend to get a new habit? It takes about 30 days, right?
Yeah, I think you can do it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's like brushing your teeth.
So you want to do a 2-week challenge or a 30-day challenge?
Well, let's go with the first call, 30-day.
Okay, well, it's up to you. I'm just asking.
No, I like that. Well, you said 30-day. That's sticking in my head right now. So
I think we want to know who makes it 2 weeks, and we want to know who makes it 4 weeks. Pick your options here. Preferably do all of them. If you can't do all of them, pick something that you know you will do.
Yeah.
Get some friends involved that are going to help you be accountable. Check in every day. And I would love, Knute, I don't know about you, I would love to hear who hits this 2-week and 30-day challenge.
Yeah, I would love
to hear
that. Oh, I would
and
love
what they're
to hear
doing.
That. Yeah, I would. I would like to not only know what they're doing and how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Just the not just physical changes. Physical changes happens, and that's the problem with today's society. We want instant gratification.
Right.
Everything's the push of a button.
It's the journey. It's the journey.
It's the journey. And it just, our bodies are old fashioned. It takes time.
Fall in love with the change. Fall in love with doing these things, with a lifestyle.
Yeah, make it a lifestyle. It's really easy to do.
How do people find you, Knute? You're on Instagram?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook.
And you're Knute Keeling, so it's Knute, Knute Keeling, Keeling. And on Instagram, it's just @Knute Keeling. And on Facebook, it's Knute Keeling.
That's right.
Apparently not a lot of Knute Keelings out there.
Yeah, apparently there's not, no.
They broke the mold, baby.
I'm the one and only.
Well, is there anything else you want to leave us before we wrap this up?
Unless you want to finish with Daddy's No Good.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about Victory Underwear. You've got your
underwear, yeah.
Best underwear on earth.
They really are. That's it's basically victory in your pants.
It's that's what else we need besides that.
I mean, come on.
If people want, I'm wearing some right now. They feel glorious. If people want to get some Victory underwear, whether it's the workout T-shirt, whether it's the Victory in your pants, where do they find it?
They can go on victoryunderwear.com, www.victoryunderwear, all one word, .com. And it's not just workout apparel. I wanted my lifestyle. I wanted something, the T-shirts and the underwear that could go with my lifestyle, the Viking lifestyle, the lifestyle of action, and at the same time, maybe go out to the movies. Or I wanted something that was comfortable.
Dude, I party in my Victory underpants.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's like a party in your
T-shirts,
pants.
The T-shirts are these tri-blend T-shirts made up of polyester, rayon, and cotton.
Yeah.
Super soft, super breathable, and they got a little toughness too. They don't wrinkle because of the polyester.
And they hold up, man. They look great.
Oh, they're awesome, and they're athletic fit, so they make the arms look large.
Yeah, I see you're wearing a ladies' medium. That looks great on you.
This is an extra large, Dave.
Yeah,
it's because I do my 20 push-ups every day.
Yeah, you do have some powerful arms there, Knute.
Thank you. It's not the only thing powerful.
Well, it's one of them. So we know how to get Victory underwear. We know how to get in touch with you.
Sorry.
No, it's not. You can say anything on this podcast, more or less. But don't get carried away. We're wrapping it up. But tell us. There's a lot of us who are like, I've tried these workouts.
The book also is very powerful too.
Oh yeah, what's the book?
It's called Family Fun and Fitness. It's something I published 9 years ago, but all the material in there is still super relevant.
It's the interval workouts. It shows you how to do them.
It's got
your whole family can do it.
Yeah, well, it's made for the family. It's really to create a home environment more conducive to a healthier lifestyle for the family. It has park workouts for the moms, when they're with the kids, all illustrated too.
Yeah.
Super good material.
Wow.
You guys are in one of the chapters, actually. If you look on chapter 6,
Powerful.
It's about a fit family is a smarter family. It talks about how kids are, real quick, can I add this quick about kids? So another thing I read about is so awesome, and I think this is actually in the book, but they did a study with children on all these kids, okay, it was elementary, and they all took this test right as they arrived into school, right? They came in the morning, they took this test. A month later, they did an actual study that they went out and actually did recess first thing in the morning. They did jumping jacks, they ran around the track, they did push-ups, all this stuff. They came back and did a test.
After movement,
right? And there was 30 kids. All 30 kids had better test scores after taking the test,
surprised.
after the movement.
Not surprised at all. Yeah.
So it activates the brain. It's so valuable for children,
Such
for
a
young
great
families.
way to start the day.
Yeah, it really is. So, anyways, I just wanted to interject.
No, that's great. And and I think the challenge is people are coming into 2020. Maybe they don't feel like they did everything they should have. They feel like they're not good enough to do this. Tell us about Daddy's No Good. Tell us that story, because I think it's a great story to show people that you don't have to be good. You didn't have to do it right last year. You just have to start again tomorrow. You need to start again today.
Yeah, plus it's just a great story. So real quick, and please interject anytime, because I want to hear your feedback on it too. But so I have a good friend. We both have a good friend, Jason Del Cole. He'd kind of let himself go. He'd been really busy. He wanted to start a workout program and start doing things. So he was maybe about 2 or 3 weeks into the workouts with me. He's really progressing quite nicely. And then he's like, kept on coming to me. He's like, I want to do the beach workout. I want to do that workout the Vanderveens do. I'm like, dude, you're not quite ready for that.
Cuidado, Patron. Yeah.
I'm like, slow your roll, brother.
Yeah.
I go, let's ease into that. Maybe another month or two. And can I use the F word here?
As Sly Dog says, go slowly, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
So Jason is a Boston guy, so he's very transparent with everything.
Sure.
He just says whatever, and he loves the Vanderveens. But anyways, he's like, you know what? Fuck the Vanderveens. I want to do what the Vanderveens do. I'm like, okay, let's go down to the beach. And, David and Sarah, they train like Olympic athletes, you guys. I take them down to the beach. They are doing full-on high-intensity interval workouts in the sand. It's really intense. They're running up and down the stairs. It's intense. So Jason wants to do this. And I'm like, are you sure? And he kept on going, fuck the Vanderveens. Let's do this.
And there's some tall stairs in the beach.
Yeah. So I take him down. Anyway, we're with his kid too.
Yeah.
Aiden, who's maybe I think 8 years old at the time. And I'm telling Aiden to count for me. He's interacting and stuff. So Jason's halfway through the workout and he's coming up real slow up the stairs. I'm like, Jay, I think we should stop now. You're starting to slow down right now. I don't want you to get sick. And he goes, no, how many more did the Vanderveens do? I'm like, they did like 5 more. He goes, fuck the Vanderveens. He continues to go down. Oh, no. He comes back up, and he's literally changing colors. He's starting to turn pale white.
By the way, I've paid you twice to make some people throw up who are working out with us. Yeah.
You have.
I was like, push us a little harder. I'll give you $100 if you help this friend of mine puke.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So I'm like, he's like, dude, I'm done. He's like, okay, let's walk you upstairs. So I'm trying to do the talk test. As we're walking back to the gym, his eyes are starting to roll back. He's changing colors.
This is really happening.
This is really happening.
This isn't a metaphor.
I'm concerned. I'm seriously concerned. We get halfway to the gym, and you know where the stand is?
Yeah.
There's like this long line.
Vegetarian shack kind of thing.
Yeah. So Jason literally, he goes, I got to sit down. I'm like, Jason, we're almost there. I wanted to get him to the gym so I could get him a bar to get his glycogen levels, his insulin levels back.
So his sugar levels were dropping.
His sugar levels are dropping like nowhere. They're dropped. He's done. He sits down. And he lays down, like right in the line. People have to step over him to get to their food.
Poor Jason.
And his arms are out. His eyes are rolled back. He's pale white. He's white as your shirt. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out. His son's right there. I'm like, Aiden, stay with your dad. I run into the 7-Eleven there, the Circle K.
Yeah, the Circle K.
I grab
strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Yeah. So I grab a Donald Duck orange juice because it has like 35 grams of sugar in there, right?
Oh, dude.
So I'm like, this will revive him. I go, and there's a fucking line. There's like 6 people, and I run out the door. I'm like, I'll pay you later.
Yeah,
it's a life and death situation, right?
Yeah.
So I get to Jason. I get him to sit up. He starts drinking. He's like guzzling it. I mean, it's running down his shirt, his face. He's guzzling it.
Yeah.
And his son Aiden goes, Dad, I'm thirsty, and grabs it from him and starts drinking it. And Jason literally grabs the Donald Duck orange juice out of his son's hand and goes, Aiden, give that to me. Daddy's no good. Starts chugging it. So anyways.
Moral of the story is you don't have to push yourself that hard.
Yeah. He revived. He got on his feet. His color changed. And anyways, it was really funny because I told David and Sarah that later. And I remember them seeing Jason like a week later down at the beach. And they're like, hey, Jason, Daddy's no good.
Well, I love that story. And, I have a good friend, Bushin, who's been on this podcast, Bushin Tucker, who's, been working on getting in better shape and hasn't been an athlete. And so sometimes I forget that people aren't maybe used to things that I think are sort of basic. You know, he wasn't a swimmer. I got him in the ocean, got him body surfing, got him snorkeling and free diving. But we had to take baby steps. I almost drowned him once, and then Skylar, my older son, almost drowned him a second time. I think he had to save him. But he's doing great. You know, he's progressing and he's doing really well. But this week he goes, "Hey, can you take me on a hike?" Because had been posting some photos and stuff from the hikes I like to do in the canyons here. And there's one that's one of my favorites called Car Wreck. It's a little bit aggressive. It starts out easy. The walk down is pretty mild, but the walk up is quite steep and it's long.
That's like a 45-degree incline.
Yeah, it's right up there. And anyways, I was like, "Hey, I think we can do this. You know, we'll try and do it under an hour, but we'll bring some water. We'll take our time." We got about a quarter of the way up Car Wreck, and he was like, "Hey, what should my heart rate be?" And he had one of those Apple Watches on.
Oh, no.
And I said, "You know, I don't know, like under 180. He goes, "It's 187. And I was like, "Okay, we're going to stop for a minute.
Good call.
We're going to let your heart calm down." And what we did is we just took it real slow and easy. And he got lightheaded. I think he hadn't eaten anything. He's working on intermittent fasting. And, you know, we didn't have any bars or anything with us. So we just took it really easy and took our time, and we made it. And, you know, it was a great start. But it was also kind of, for me, like, you know, a reminder that, hey, you know, people don't have to do what you do or what I do. Mm-hmm. They can do what feels right for them, and let your body talk to you. Look at your heart rate. You know, wear a heart rate monitor if you haven't been doing any workouts, or especially if you're really heavy. You know, and try not to get your heart rate over, what would you say, 170, 180?
Well, if you're doing the high intensity, yeah. I mean, you know, we all have levels.
Yeah.
And you want to go to your level. You want to push yourself, but you know,
you don't want to pass out or
you
throw
don't
up.
You don't want to throw up or anything like that. So yeah, just go to your levels. You know, we all have levels. Don't be ashamed of whatever level you are. Just get moving.
Because it's okay if Daddy's no good.
Yeah, it's okay. Daddy's no good.
Daddy's no good. It just matters if Daddy's keeps showing up, right?
That's right.
Kids don't care if you're any good. They just care if you're there.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with working out. You just got to show up. You just got to be there. And you know, if you have a bad day, make the next day better.
That's right. That's right. You know, you're one workout away from being in a good mood. And like I told you guys, you're one workout away from being glorious.
Yeah. I'm also one shot away from a good mood.
Oh, God.
You might have to do
How'd
that
you
right
read
after
my
this.
mind?
Yeah.
How do you do that, Dave?
Well, I'll show you in a second.
Am I that simple?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that, by the way.
I've got some Jedi training. So anyways, Knute, thank you for coming. This has been a great podcast.
Awesome.
I think it gives people enough to get started with. We do want to hear how you're applying this to your life. Please send us notes. Send us what you're doing. Also, ask us questions. You know, tell us when things fall apart. It's okay. Let us help. We would love to help you do better in 2020 and make your life as glorious as you'd like it to be. So, this has been the Kickasspirational podcast. It is not a spectator sport. We do want to help you break through barriers in life, and I think we've got a long list of simple fixes to hack your life into 2020 in a way that can transform it. Whatever you do this week, please, above all, be Kick-aspirational.
Yeah. Nice work. Right on.